my shop tour. This is my shop patio. Let's go inside. Right when you walk in, to the right, it's my wood lathe. It's a cheap Harbor Freight lathe. I took the motor off, swapped it over to DC.
So if you're like a lot of us and you work from home and you find you're a little distracted because the kids are at home, maybe your
That's
spouse
the motor.
is at home, or simply
That's the control
it's too
box.
hard to work from home, this may be a good solution for you. Several hotels are actually offering day service.
It's running real slow right now because I have it on potentiometer turned down. Turns up. That's where I do most of my sanding, clear coating for pool cues. Next to it is my homemade milling machine. Works pretty good. There it is running.
And the way that he posed was like a woman in a Playboy magazine.
Because I wanted to see you keep myself in frame. Well, you've done a good job. You look a little stiff, Jen. So you got waking you up with Scott McKay and Danielle Tavato. Weekdays from
Sorry for the shaking.
on 95.9 The River.
There's some square stock I turned down into a round stock. On the right, it's a whole bunch of Pro Taper shafts, real long taper. There's one cue that's sitting up there that needs to be clear coated still. Behind it is a bunch of conical taper shafts. Need a whole bunch more hooks to put on there.
And for all those who support them, we
It's
are
my scroll saw.
offering supplies and solutions for every industry.
It's my
Plus free access
benchtop sander with disc and belt. It's my mess underneath.
Call clickgranger.com.
It's my mess on
or
top.
just stop by. Granger.
It's my mess of
done.
cabinets sitting there. We're walking around my table saw. I'll get to that when I get there, but
It's on its way. Taco Bell is still delivering. So you can get all your favorite crunchy, spicy, cheesy
to the left
Taco
of
Bell
my
items
mess
delivered to you in the comfort and convenience
is
of
my
your home. And now for a limited time, you can get free
Husky
delivery on
toolbox.
all Taco Bell orders of $12
Let
or
me
more, only on Grubhub.
turn
So
off
when
the
you're craving
music or turn it
Taco
down.
Bell's
I don't keep it super organized, but it's somewhat. There's my socket drawer. Screwdrivers. Wrenches. Drill bits. Drivers. I think that's mostly automotive stuff, but there's a mixture. It's got a laser level, a Hilti drill, some other stuff. Automotive. Random stuff. Random stuff, including an airsoft gun. Chisels. Tape. Gotta do some organizing in there. There's some taps, cutting stuff, metal stuff, and milling bits. That thing has a whole bunch of pool cue tips in it, and then some random other crap. That's wrenches or that style stuff. This is just stuff. We already did that. Rigid stuff. It's mostly what I use for cordless. I got a couple chargers back here. The radio actually has a 9 amp hour battery in it right now, but usually use that for the grinder. There's a drill, impact, multi-tool. See the jigsaw sticking up. I'm gonna back up a little bit. There's a piece of plywood sitting here. Look, this is actually L-shaped bench made out of doors. It's a benchtop vise, or not. It's not a benchtop vise. It's a drill press vise, but I use it as a benchtop vise right now. There's a couple boxes. They have dividers inside. And then dividers. That was Harbor Freight. This wall is a mess. Eventually I'll get to it. There's some good looking lumber that I turned from square stock to round stock. Some other random crap. Benchtop pipe clamps, I guess you'd call them. These are actually parts to something that I'm restoring. That's what's in there right now. It's a number 5. A little wood rack. It's got a bunch of random lumber on it. Some purple heart, red heart, ebony, Lakote, and a bunch of cheap stuff too. Some crap stock. I got some to the left of that bucket. That's actually Corian. And then a bunch of aluminum to the right. There's a bunch of phenolic. That long stuff back there is a tapered ramp made out of polyethylene. And then this is my big lathe. I use this machine a lot. Everything's a mess right now. It's kind of the way it looks when I usually use it. This is a nice machine. It's a Fine vacuum next to it. Fine brand. F-E-I-N. A little holder up there to hold some of my lathe tooling. Homemade bracket to hold my cheap Harbor Freight lathe or router that I mount to the carriage to cut under power. Eventually I'll get a better router and a better bracket. Some other tooling up there, and then some drop off round stock. It's a good machine. Everything works really nice. I know it's a mess. I know it's a mess behind it.